my Kansas City Chiefs, they are 10-1, 11-1, or something crazy, but they look 6-5 to me. No one thinks much of what the Kansas City Chiefs are accomplishing. They barely beat the Carolina Panthers, a team that a lot of people think is the worst team in the National Football League. They barely beat them. My beef with the Chiefs is they got an offensive line problem. They got a tackle that just cannot play, that I think they're paying $20 million this year, and the guy can't play dead in the Western. I stole that from my friend Mark Schlereth. But he can't play dead in the Western. They have protection issues that don't seem fixable this year. And this is a team that's finishing schedule, I think, is going to actually prove that they're gonna be what their record is gonna end up being, exactly who they are. This is how they finish the season. They play the Raiders here in a few days on Friday. Not a big deal. But after that, Chargers, I think they lose. I think they can lose to Jameis Winston and the Browns at Cleveland. They play the Houston Texans. We'll see if C.J. Stroud gets it together. They play at the Steelers, and they play at the Broncos. That's six potential, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential losses. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I did count right. 5 potential losses coming down the stretch here. And I would not be shocked if they lost 4 or 5 of those games.
4 or 5?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
2 or 3, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I would not be shocked.
Well, I said last week that I believe the Chiefs had at least 2 or 3 losses ahead of them. I didn't think it was going to be yesterday. And for a minute, I said, are they going to really blow this game to one of the worst teams in the league? And how you win, I think, says something. Point differential says something. One thing gamblers are always suspicious of are teams that always win one possession games, because that shows you a play here, play there, fumble here, interception here, and you could lose that game. But Jason, this team reminds me of Ric Flair. They get beat up, they look vulnerable, and you know what they do? They just win. And Patrick Mahomes, for all his look, he does not put up great stats anymore. I've noticed this. Every game's about 35 to 40 pass attempts, and really nothing close to 300 yards. They're not very efficient. They're not really explosive anymore, as they were during the Tyreek Hill era. But when it comes to the last 2 minutes, I have to admit, I don't think there's another quarterback in the game that I want running that huddle with the ball in his hands than number 15.
Steve, number 15 is great. But if, what's the number is Jawan Taylor? Jawan Taylor, right, number 74. Number 74. Yeah. He's not great. And they're paying, they gave him $80 million. I think he's getting $20 million this season. If you don't have the confidence to drop back, let things develop. I just don't know if that's fixable. Now their defense is looking a little leaky and suspect. The Carolina Panthers were right in that game. I couldn't believe it, but I can't believe it. Everybody's giving up. Half that stadium was Chiefs fans yesterday. No one cares about the Carolina Panthers, and the Chiefs almost went up there and lost. And this thing, when they get into that Chargers, and I think they'll lose to the Chargers. And then when they get to Cleveland, that is going to be the tell. If Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns beat them, this whole thing is going to collapse. Obviously, they won enough games, they'll make the playoffs. Yeah. But the Chiefs right now this year, because of their offensive line protection issues, more so than injuries at wide receiver, more so than injuries to Isaac Pacheco, offensive line issues are going to undermine this team, and that is the problem with the Chiefs more so than anything else. First Cup Coffee, Christian-owned Patriot Coffee Company that stands for core values, family, and building community across the nation. Go to firstcup.com, use the promo code JASON, and save an additional 10% on your order. And if you subscribe, save another 10% for the life of your subscription.
Wow. So Jawan Taylor gets $20 million? That is the worst expenditure of money this side of the Kamala Harris campaign. Wow. God bless America. That ain't exactly Joe Alt or Willie Rowe.
Maybe, Kamala will.
They're gonna win 5 of their last 6 games. Andy Reid, your coach of the year. They're gonna win. They're gonna win 5 of 6 games. Andy Reid, even if they win 4 of their last games.
Butter's trolling me.
Andy Reid, coach of the year. What they've been able to do this year is I think it's going underrated and underappreciated. And I think it's the same way LeBron doesn't win the MVP all the time because I feel like Andy Reid is.
He's trolling me. He just brought LeBron into this. He just compared Andy Reid to LeBron James. He's trolling me. Get the butter box out. You're done, Butter.
You gotta give this guy his
just
props.
Compared Andy Reid to LeBron James. That is a troll job.
HOC.
Cut the mic. He compared Andy Reid to LeBron James.
Well, they both have a little form of nepotism. Aren't Reid's son on the coaching staff? I mean, there are some. To Butter's point, I don't completely disagree in this sense.
Make it for him because we will not hear Butter's voice the rest of this show. Go ahead and make it for him, Steve.
14-2, and I get it. They're the Super Bowl defending champions, whatever that means. But if you go 14-2 with this particular team and you get the best shot every week, I don't completely disagree. I know it's about expectations and overcoming them or exceeding them. 14-2 with this team, Jason, I would then argue this might be Andy Reid's greatest job of coaching ever.
I don't disagree with that, but nothing justifies comparing Andy Reid to LeBron James. That's an insult to Andy Reid.
He lost me there too.
LeBron James has single-handedly ruined the NBA. Andy Reid's one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL. He's brought 3 championships to Kansas City, my beloved Kansas City Chiefs. He hasn't cut corners. He hasn't made his son the starting quarterback or put his he did put him on the coaching staff. But anyway, Andy Reid's great. LeBron James has ruined the NBA for me, and so take Butter off screen even. I don't even want to look at the Butter box. I don't want him participating in the conversation with Shamika, Michelle, and I. Butter, you're relieved for today. You just compared LeBron James and Andy Reid. You upset my stomach. That's hard to do, to upset my stomach. Anyway, Steve, thank you so much. I know. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.